In previous week we have discussed the circulatory system of the heart. So today we will discuss about the resume part of this and the rest of the chapter of this part. So today we will discuss about the mainly contraction system of the heart and the other structure of the heart and valvular apparatus. The heart structure. Okay. Yes, dear. So, heart structure there is mainly two kind of AV valves are there and two kind of semilunar valves are there. Those are mainly half semilunar. Semilunar means it is like a cusp with the lumens. Lumens is that if you see the moon, there is a half concave like structure that is known as semilunar structure. Like there is a and it is consisting of three sinus of valves, which is apparently look like that, and there is some circulation over there. There is some internal lumen area and internal external luminal area. So it is circulating from blood circulating over there by the help of, and it is circulated towards the coronary circulation in the right and as well as left system of the heart circulation, and it is supplying to the endocardium of the heart, and it is going to the up to the systemic circulation going to the whole body. And after that there is a that is known as aortic valve, and there is also valve is there, pulmonary valve. It is look like a same valve. So the difference is it is aortic valve having the two posterior valve and one anterior valve, and pulmonary valve is two anterior valve and one posterior valve is there. Okay, the difference is that, and we have the two AV valves are there. Two AV valves means atrioventricular valve. In between atrium and ventricle there is a valve which is remains the blood into the stagnant, and it will remain the unidirectional flow towards the atrium to the ventricle. Though it will maintain the atrium to the ventricular blood, it is as well as deoxygenated and as well as oxygenated blood into the circulation, as well as in pulmonary circulation in the and systemic circulation. So we have this apparatus like that. It is anterior valve, it is septal, it is posterior. And it is attached with some body. So in RV there is some papillary muscles are there, anterolateral, posteromedial, and there are some septal leaflets. Septal papillary muscles are there. So it is attached with the it is attached in the RV cavity like that. It is attached in the RV cavity, and it's attached with the lots of bodies are there, like anterior fan shaped, rough, deep, basal. There are 5 kind of bodies are there. So these bodies will attach like that. It is anterior leaflets. So it is like that. When septal, it is upper part is annulus, that is polytechnic. So it is papillary muscle. So when heart tends to contracts, there is a muscle depolarization over there, na? Muscle depolarization when happen when sodium current influx into the potassium into the muscle depolarization. When the calcium glycolisis happen, means there is some sodium. If you see the muscle contraction, if I give me an example, if I do a pinch in my hand, so it will happen in the muscular contraction area, means smooth muscle contraction over there. There is some binding of the M muscle as well as Z band. M band and Z band, it will contact and it will come into the closer area, and it will initiate the sodium binding and sodium influx of the potential area, means of the potential area in the sense means into the muscular contraction area. Like sodium influx is a 3 plus sodium is into the affect into the current area, and 2 plus potassium will be extract, means efflux towards the area, that is known as contraction. So it will contraction happen and it tends to depolarization of what? Depolarization of the ventricle, means it is tends to systole of the ventricle. So it is I am talking about, it is tricuspid valve. So it is tricuspid means 3 cuspids are there, anterior, septal, posterior. I make an initial of the ASP, anterior septal posterior. So anterior septal posterior, that's why it is known as That's why it is known as tricuspid valve. So when it tends to contracts, na, so it will, when it will happen, so it, if you take me, if you give me an example, so suppose my hand is like a ventricle, okay, I am tends to contract it, so it will like a pull, it will like to pull and downwards pulling of the chamber, then downwards pulling of the cavity. So what will happen, the papillary muscle is tends to pull out the thing, and it will extend it, and if it will expand, na, atrium is over there is atrium and ventricle is here. So ventricle is here, it comes to along with the atrium to the ventricle, and after that it is going to the what? Pulmonary circulation. It will go into the pulmonary circulation. So it will first applicated the initiated the pulmonary circulation, and it will, in previous session I have supposed to discuss that, already discussed the gas exchange of the heart, which is supposed to be going to the pulmonary circulation. After the gas exchange over there, and there is a venous region over there by the help of capillaries and venules, and after that it is formation of the superior, left inferior, and right superior, right inferior pulmonary venous, and it is going to the left atrium. After that it is going to the LV, and it is going to the aorta by the help of aortic seminal valve. Okay, so in there, so the papillary muscles are there. It's supposed to be declared and downwards pulling of that. So it will come to the unidirection flow. It will come and remain downwards pulling. So if it is downwards pulling over there, then it will come towards the atrium ventricle by the help of diversity and gravitational force. Okay, so it will come to the atrium ventricle, after that to the pulmonary circulation. So it is the main, that's why main purpose is to telling me that, because it is mainly structural area and structural function of the heart area. So rest of the things are there, mainly it's a mitral valve. So let me draw that. So mitral valve means bicuspid valve. So what happens? Mitral valve. So bicuspid valve having the characteristic features of two leaflets, because it is bicuspid valve. So it having the two cusps. So what are the cusps? Anterior cusp and posterior cusp. Posterior cusp is known as mainly mobile valve. There is posterior and that is anterior. So it is attached with the Corti, Tenni, and remain like that. Rest of remain like that, which is in tricuspid I discussed that it is having the three papillary muscles, anterior, septal, and posterior, and having the 5 Corti. So it having the 2 Corti, anterolateral and posterior middle, and it having also the anterolateral and posterior middle papillary muscles. So papillary muscle I already discussed, it is a muscular like groove structure which is in the LV or RV cavity. Okay, so it is, I am talking about LV cavity. It is LA over there. It is pulmonary vein, left superior, left inferior. Okay, so it is coming to the oxygenated blood. How much oxygenated blood? It is around 95% of oxygenated blood. More 95, not 97%. 97, because most of the oxygenation blood is over there, because it's having the high amount of oxygenation and high amount of integrated in amount of oxygen in the left side area, LA area. After that, it is come to the LV, and it is going towards the aorta. Aorta is over there. Aorta is like that. Okay, I will make the structure in the compact way. After that, covering the valve structure. Okay, so there is a coordinate over there. Coordinate attached with the papillary muscle. So there are some two coordinates there, anterolateral and posterior medial. Okay, anterior and posterior medial is coordinated there. It is supposed to be pulled as phenomena as like in RV, where it is supposed to be discussed. But the phenomena as RV is more thinner structure, because it's having the elasticity to capture the venous intensity, and after an LV having a boost of power, like it's having the muscle integration and muscle endover to boost and 70% of amount of blood, which is 70% ml of 70 ml of blood, which is eject out of the ventricle and go to the whole body circulation into the rest of area. So it is around 95% of oxygenation, SpO2 level. Okay. So it is like that when it is having the pull and downward pulling of that. So if you having the downward pulling like that, so it will come towards the LA to LV. After the rest of the blood is going towards the aorta. Only 70% 70% of blood is going to the rest of the aorta, and the rest of 30% is remaining there because there is some intensity of this LV is required. Okay, and it's I am making an arrow. Better you can understand that. So it is I am making an arrow by the help of arterial and mainly circulatory flow, blood flow. When it will come, venous return over LA to LV, and LV to aorta, and it is come to the whole body circulation, whole body. Okay, I make a structure of this in a compact position. So you all know that hopefully SBC is there, IBC is there. Means inferior vena cava, superior vena cava. There is a pulmonary artery. There is a aorta. Okay. And what is this? It is RA, and this is RV. This is LA, and this is LV. So I told you that what is this? Here it is papillary muscle, which is posteromedial and anterolateral. Anterolateral and posteromedial, and here is the three papillary muscles are there: anterior, septal, and posterior. So when it is supposed to contract, so it is more muscular structure. All you know that, and it is more thinner structure because it having the capacity of elasticityness. So I already told you that it is having the muscular structure because it have to boost up the whole amount of blood, means 70% amount of blood into the aorta. Okay. It is semilunar valve. So we having the first. This is a AV valves. AV valves means mitral valve. I told you about that. Two AV valves are there. Two pulmonary valves are there. And here there is also known as CS, coronary circulation in atrium. It is supposed to be drained over there. There is a coronary circulation, coronary sinus drainage over there. That is known as Eustachian valve, which is supposed to be guided by the Eustachian valve, which is incomplete semicircular valve. Okay, it is supposed to be like that. It is like that. It is a great cardiac vein, and it is great cardiac vein. It is supposed to be like that. Middle cardiac vein. It is great cardiac vein. This is MCV. Great cardiac vein. That is middle cardiac vein, and this is oblique vein of LA. Oblique vein of LA, posterior vein of LV, and it is some numerous vein which is supposed to be like small muscle drainage, and it is for left system drainage, means left coronary artery drainage, and for right coronary artery drainage we having the Thebesian veins and small numerous vein. For RCA, right coronary artery drainage, that is coronary sinus. So there is Thebesian veins and small venous which is supposed to be drained the right entire territory into the RA. After the RA is after the RA means RA carries which blood? Upper limb drainage and lower limb drainage is come over there, is into the RA, which come along with the tricuspid valve and along with the RV, and this go along with the PA. After PA there is a lung, and lung having what? Lung having what I previously discussed that gas exchange over there. After gas exchange, pulmonary venous drainage is pulmonary venules are there. After means it is drainage, there is some segmental things are there, like vein, after artery to venules, artery to arterioles, after that capillaries, capillaries to venules, after that venules form the veins. So left superior, left inferior, right superior, right inferior vein. So it's along with the brain, along with the LA. If it is a 2D structure, I can't able to describe the right superior and right inferior vein. So we can understand over there by the two-dimensional picture. So it will come up to the LA. After LA, it is come to the LV. Okay, LV through the aorta, and it is rest of the whole body circulation. Okay, whole body circulation. It is known as aortic arch. Aortic arch. Okay, they are having the three main major artery, which is brachiocephalic, left common carotid, and left subclavian. Okay, it is a brachiocephalic trunk. It is known as tree, innominate artery. It's known as also. So my purpose is to tell that also in 10th class we have already know that there is a chapter known as also how to interpret the auscultatory function. Means there is some heart sounds are there. There is a lambda. So in heart, if I do suppose to like that, it is a heart. So if it is heart is supposed to be, means if it is circulated like that way, in a way of atrial contraction, ventricular contraction, it is look like a vortex movement. Vortex, it is like that. If you do that, if it is look like that is the main functionatory movement and circulatory movement of the heart. So how, let me elaborate. So it is, if you do that, if you take a small piece of cloth, if you do the squeezing of it and as in nagging of it, if you do the nagging of it, if you when it is like that, if the nagging force is like that, the heart is remains as it is, like the vortex movement as similar as like that. So it's my purpose to tell that because of vortex movement, we able to circulate the amount of blood which is mainly circulate towards the body and mainly heart circulation. Okay, so fast heart sound is mainly caused by the what closure of that valve, closure of AV valve, closure of AV valve. Okay, closure of AV valve that responsible of S1, which is LUBB, and closure of AV valve means both, as well as first is M1 means mitral valve component 1, and second one is T1, which is tricuspid valve component 1. Means both those both are AV valves. So first is due to the closure of AV valves. AV valves mean atrioventricular valves. Okay. So second one is closure of semilunar valve, which is responsible of DUB. DUBB. DUB. Second heart sound. Second option, closure of semilunar valve. So it is like that. So because of that, we are able to get that S1 and S2, and S3 and S4 it is very minorly able to auscultate, which is S3, which is having the forceful if you know the cardiac cycle, which is rapid ventricular filling phase. So initially it having LA to LV, rapid ventricular filling phase over there. So inrush of blood is coming to the LA to LV. So it is having the it is main characterized by the S3, and S4 it is just after that, which is 0.1 to 2 second, which is 0.1 to 2 second, which is gap is from S3 to S4 0.01 to 0.02 second, which is after that having the 0.0 S4, which is inrush of blood. After coming LA to LV, having the inrush of the blood, having the S4 and create the S4. Okay, so it is hardly able to auscultate because it is after it is frequent to the S3, so it is hardly able to auscultate, and it will go to the whole systemic circulation, both in aortic and as well as rest of the body and as a peripheral circulation. So it is our this part is also over. Now the next topic is the luminal and basement membrane part, which is having the circulationary part and into the basement membrane and the extravascular and intercellular pore bounding area, means having the luminal area. So it is like that, having the, so it is more alveolar adipose tissue, having the, it is the X. So lumen having the three mainly part. Into the innermost part which is known as basement membrane, which is known as lumen. After that it is known as also internal part and tunica intima, and after that there is some part of medial structure which is known as tunica medial, and after that there is known as tunica adventitial part. And inner part is known as basement membrane. Media and tunica adventitial. Which is tunica exterior. Interior is intima, exterior is adventitial. So in the luminary, that is known as artery as well as artery and vein and as well as capillary. So vein having the more having the elasticity structure. So it is raised up like that, but it's having the resting capacity, means it's having the capacity of the more deoxygenated blood containing. So it is having the more elastic structure because it having the continuous structure, means it has to be carries the more deoxygenated blood and it goes to the after the systemic circulation. It has to be there in the pulmonary circulation, so it has to be there in the vein circulation, which is having the more elastic tissue material. So it is mainly made of with more alveolar and adipose tissues, which is combined of the bounding of the more aggregated structure. So if we do the vein structure, vein structure having the less elasticity, means it is having the less elastic, more elastic tissue, having the less adipose tissue. So capillary as well as that, capillary is like that. If you tear it out like that, if you there is some cell is over there, cytoplasm, and internal smooth muscle cell. Smooth muscle cell over there. I make a cartridge of it and making a cross-sectional dissection. Okay. So if you do that, if you see the total entire capture of the adipose tissue and inner layer of the extra, which is extravascular space, having the inner layer of the alveolar tissue, and as well as extravascular space having the extracellular fluid, which is known as lymph. All you guys know. So my topic is mainly how to evaluate the, if you do the intercourse, then how do you evaluate that artery, vein as well as capillary. That is the main segmental thing which I supposed to be tell you all like that. So our next topic is the lymph. Before lymph I have to discuss the arterial circulation, means how do you evaluate the ABO blood group system. ABO blood group system. So having the A B O. So we have to be there is some antigen and antibody. So in ABO blood group system, we know that in ABO blood group system, A having the antigen of what? A, and antibody of B. B having the antigen of B, antibody of A. AB having antigen, is there any antigen there? Obviously, A and B antigen is there, but there is no antibody. Okay? But here there is no antigen. Antibody are present. So in that moment we are able to understand what antibody means. What it is replicate. It able to carry the whatever blood it is supposed to be giving. So it is AB. So it is supposed to be recipient. So does not having any antigen to replicate. That are having any antibody to replicate over there. So in the reciprocating thing as well as O is the same as well as universal donor. Like O negative as well as AB negative. Okay, we have to come to the plus and negative, positive and negative, which is rhesus factor, which is supposed to be described by the 1940 Carl Reistein. Okay, So O having the suppose does not have any kind of antigen, so it should not be aggregated, and it doesn't have any kind of agglutinogen. Okay, so agglutinogen, if with the absence of agglutinogen, it's having the capacity of recipiency, means it can carry the blood of O. It can carry the blood of everyone, A, B, AB as well as. So AB having the recipient of what? O, A, B. Okay, so it is the main functional area, agglutinogen and agglutinin. Agglutinogen is there present. Agglutinin is not there. Okay, agglutinin is there. Sorry. AB having the agglutinin is there. So it having the no agglutinogen is over in AB group. AB group having the no agglutinogen, but if it terms of O positive, means O means agglutinin are not there. Understood? So how do you know that whether it is, I told you that rhesus factor na, rhesus factor, how do you evaluate, how do you able to know that rhesus factor na, Rh factor, Rh plus or negative factor. So they for that reason there is some Karl Landsteiner. He is discovered at the 1940 with the help of rhesus monkey, and make a positive test of the, because he is having the rhesus positive plus. So monkey having the rhesus factor positive plus. So by the help of me getting that, how the scientist Carl Landsteiner is supposed to know that, because by the help of they are having the taste, like he take the 3 sample of blood. Okay, I supposed to take that A, B, A, B, O. So O. So how do you able to understand? So here there. So in rhesus factor, how do you know it is positive or negative? By the help of anti-A, anti-B test. By the help of agglutination test. Agglutination means there is no clotting and clasping of the blood in the initial period. There is some samples are kit like that. So if there is a kit like A, B, C. If the donor, you have to take the blood of the tip of the blood, have the stripping of the needle and put it over there. Like it is, suppose I take it, it is a smear kind of thing, and it is a kit like thing. So it is kit like that. If I take a drop of the donor blood here, here. So A, B and O. So how do you able to know that it is whether it is A or B or AB or O? So it's supposed to be A if it is the agglutination over there, A. If it is agglutination over there, B. If it is agglutination AB or O. So if it is agglutination over there, then we supposed to get the anti-A. Anti-A means it is A. Means it is a group of A, which is, if it is clotting, then it is positive. Means it is having the A positive, means A positive blood. By the help of positive and negative, we have to supposed to get help of another spectrometry function, and we get to know the donor blood whether it is A, B or O. By the help of, if it is anti-B, means anti-B is having the agglutination factor of anti-B, so donor is B. Positive and negative, it is a rhesus factor functionation matter. So AB will able to clarify if AB means if there is an anti-A, anti-B, there is no agglutination. Okay, means there is no agglutination over there. Anti-A means A or B, there is no agglutination, as well as O. O is having the function of agglutination. In O there is a function of agglutination, like here AB. No agglutination is there. No agglutination is there, and O having the both agglutination, anti-A, anti-B. So if it is both in O, like means both having the anti A, anti B, there is no AB, there is no agglutination. Okay, O is there, that is known as O positive. O means the donor factor is O, and by the help of rhesus bounding factor, we can able to know rhesus R is positive or not, R is negative. So it is raised is like that. So R is positive negative, we will able to calibrate in the RH negative spectrometry meter, and there is some another functional area which is you can evaluate in the manual way. So next topic is the hepatic circulation. We go fast through that. In the hepatic circulation, there is a liver. Liver is like that. There is some triangular hemitriangular region like that. So it will supply to the portal vena circulation at the level of IVC, and it is bidirectional function with the help of femoral vein, and it is supplying to the renal vein over there, renal vein and liver. So it is the main anatomical position which is having the right hypochondrial region at the level of right lung, and at the function of the right lung area, which is the lung base, means the right side and mainly cover-sided area, which is around the 5th or 6th intercostal region, which is the lower border of the 11th and 12th ribs. Okay, mainly 11 ribs. It is supposed to be there in the 11 ribs, which is floating ribs. So it is like that. In the circulation, having the portal tree, it is a formation, like it is a Callus triangle formation, having like that. So it is mainly function is that there is upper surface is bordered by the upper surface is the inferior surface of the liver. Upper border is the inferior base of the liver. And medial surface is the cystic duct. Medial surface is the cystic duct, and inferior surface is the common hepatic duct, that is known as Callus triangle. So it is mainly formation of the portal tree circulation, which is having the more deoxygenated blood carrying the up to the right atrium, and it is going to the portal circulation, which is known as also pulmonary circulation. It is going to the drainage over there, and it is going to the lung and having the gas exchange, and it will having the oxygenation, and it is carries towards the whole of the body, which is oxygen carrying blood. Okay, common hepatic duct. Common hepatic duct is there. So here I supposed to elaborate that much because it is in book, that is that much only. So there is a mainly function with the liver having the metabolism and the mainly drainage of the RBC, which is dead RBC, and fragile RBC, which is the end of the 120 days, and it is and there all of them, the formation over there in the spleen, which is largest lymph organ, which is spleen and thymus, and formation of the erythrocyte, which is in the mainly fetal circulation, and most of the liver having the carrying wastage of the and the fat metabolism, which is fat soluble as well as water soluble vitamin A, D, N, and which is tocopherol, which is also vitamin K, and having the formation and having the mainly fat storage and as well as glycogen storage of the capacity having the liver. So mainly rest of the things are there. It is rest of the things are like that. So in your book, in a textbook, it's remain like as it is. So if you have any questions, comment down below. Thank you for your kind info.